sometimes the people that you feel like, oh yes, I'm aspiring to be this, I'm aspiring to be that, and it's just an image that people are putting out there. Like sometimes the marriage is so broken that like nobody knows, and but they just put a facade, right? And you're like, oh man, I want to be like them, I want to be like them. And once they start breaking up, then you notice, wait, they were putting something like they were looking good together, but for the longest, but they didn't really have a foundation. They didn't really love each other. They were just like struggling, right? And then you kind of think of to yourself like, why was I comparing in the first place? Why did I want this in the first place? And sometimes I can go down the rabbit hole of like, oh no, if they're fake, if they didn't work out, then like we probably were not gonna work out. Like so you place like this kind of like standard of like, oh, we won't work out kind of thing. So I don't know, it's like you just cannot compare your marriage and that facade, and thinking of like what a green grass looks like and like what a fake grass looks like. A green grass is luscious and just like you can see like it's natural, right? It's natural. Whereas a green grass, like if you step on it, it's rougher. It's rougher and it doesn't really have any roots or foundation.
I mean, like even thinking about it, even with the natural like with the natural grass. I mean, there's it's not always green. There's seasons to it, right? And so it's like it's not always green. There's some rough patches in there. There's even some spots where people have trampled over hundreds of times, and it basically kills off that patch of grass. And so, there, but as what Julie is saying, like there's a big difference because that fake grass on the other side, doesn't grow. I mean, like it doesn't even change color. I mean, like it doesn't do anything. It's just there, right? But it doesn't bring life. Like there's no there. I mean, like if you ever fell on some of that fake grass, like that turf, oh my gosh, that thing is sharp sometimes. It's like real rough. Like I'm like, what? Why is this here?
Fake grass? Imagine watering this, like water dripping all the time on it. Like it might create mold over time.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know anything about
we're not gardeners of like fake grass or anything. We don't know how this fake grass goes, but just think about it. I mean,
yeah. So right, and then it's an interesting point that you brought about how like there's there are parts of it that is they different seasons of your life. Like we see the grass outside in the fall. Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna finish that off by saying, but the natural grass in whatever state it is, right, always has the opportunity to flourish and regrow and heal itself. And it changes, right? So that's something that natural grass has the ability to do, whereas this fake grass just doesn't.
It stays. It doesn't even grow. It just stays. It's just stagnant.
Yeah, it is not even living, right? There's no life to it, and that's the sad part to it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because thinking of marriage, like you're like you may be going through like a season of your marriage where it's dead right now, and you feel like, oh no, it cannot become alive again, or like there's nothing else to do. But all you have to do is literally water it. I mean, the science guy just told us, Joshua, the science guy. I don't know anything about grass. So, but he would of course know that. If you know Joshua, you would know. But thinking how it can revive itself, right? If it has everything that it needs to survive, it will survive if you give it. Like if you put it, if it has sun, if it has water, if it has the soil, like if it has everything it needs, it will thrive. Even though it looks dry right now, but just water it. And I feel like a lot of times we feel like our season is like dry, and we're like, what's going on. There's no love, blah blah. It's like, what are you doing to water your marriage, to help your marriage grow?